What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another video. In this video I will be talking about the Human Design Centers, going over all 9 of them and the health implications they may have if you are living out of alignment with what this center is for you. So it's going to depend on whether you have this center open or undefined or defined for how the expression of this center manifests for you in your life. Which I have a whole nother video on and something I talk about in depth too in my book, The Cosmos Within You, which you can get on my website, which is linked down here in the description box. But yeah, so we'll start with the first center, which is the crown. It's that top triangle in your chart. And this center represents inspiration. It's a pressure to make sense of things in the world. It receives a lot of information and it's not meant to do anything with it, but to just be aware of it. It's also a center where inspiration comes in. So if you have the center open or undefined, you get a lot of inspiration from the world around you, and you're meant to really take note of that, maybe even write it down. If you're defined, you're really here to inspire the world with your unique insights and ideas. And the health implications of this center, if it's imbalanced, or if you're open or undefined and you have a lot of stored energy there, or you're taking in a lot of energy from other people and not giving space or time to clear that out, it can create a lot of anxiety, a lot of feeling scattered or overwhelmed, and it can feel like you're under pressure. You can have a tendency to put yourself under pressure to implement all the ideas that you're getting. And so the lesson with the center is to realize you're not meant to necessarily always do things with those ideas that you're getting or the inspiration that you're getting, depending on the rest of your chart. Obviously, follow your strategy and authority. But just to kind of let those things flow through you and come in, and again, write down what feels good, write down what resonates, but you're not meant to necessarily pressure yourself to do anything with it. The next center is the Ajna, which is the next triangle down in your chart. This center processes information. It is an awareness center, so it's meant to be aware of the information that's coming in, but again, not necessarily meant to do anything with it. And so the health implications of this center, if you're out of balance with this part of your chart, is difficulty making decisions, being indecisive. You might also run the risk of having endocrine problems or hormonal imbalances. So that's what this center can kind of express itself as if you're really out of balance with it. Again, if you're open or undefined, you're taking in and amplifying energy here. So it's really about allowing yourself to know when you need to clear out that center so that you don't run the risk of storing that energy there and then creating these health problems. And if you do have these kind of issues arising for you, just knowing that following your strategy and authority is one and your profile for knowing what is best for you to do in order to clear out these centers and really live more in alignment with your design, because this is the not self. The not self of this center is trying to be certain of things. So if you're finding yourself trying to be certain of a lot of things, and for the crown, it's thinking of things that don't matter. So that's like the hamster wheel of these 2 centers, if you have them both open or undefined, is kind of getting yourself caught in those loops of thinking about things that don't matter. That will then lead to these types of issues if you're really not aware that that's happening and kind of know how to navigate it. The next center is the throat, and the throat center rules communication and expression of all the other centers. This is also where manifestation lives. How we literally create everything in our lives is through the throat. And if you've had a lot of imbalances within your throat, it's going to lead to thyroid issues, either hyper or hypothyroid, either an underactive or an overactive thyroid. It's also going to lead to, which will lead to weight issues, because the throat rules the metabolic processes of the body. So if you're really out of whack with this energy in your chart, that's how it's going to show up in your physical body and manifest as a health issue. If you're open or undefined here, the not self theme of that center, the throat, is, am I trying to seek or attract attention? That's when you know you're operating from your conditioning and from your not self. If you're defined in this area, you have a really fixed and defined way in which you talk, you speak, you create. And so the open or undefined throat is also very meant to be invited to speak, and to surround yourself with the right people who really understand that and really will invite you and include you in conversations. And knowing when you're either have the habit of talking too much or talking not enough. A big wound with the open throat too can be feeling not seen or feeling not heard, and it's really important for you to wait for someone to invite you to speak or to recognize you before speaking, because that's when it's correct for you to speak, and that's when you will be heard, and when you will feel seen and heard. The next center is the G center. This center represents direction, love, and identity. And this is the seat of the magnetic monopole, which creates the illusion of separation and also unity within our charts, but that's for another video. The health implications of this center back up a little bit, the not self of the G center is seeking love or seeking direction. And that's it being open or undefined. If you have the center defined, you have a solid sense of direction and love in which you can always come back to, and a solid sense of identity. The open or undefined G center is really here to be more fluid and more flexible with their direction and also with their sense of identity. So you're literally meant to let life come to you, as opposed to forcing yourself to go out there and get it or force a certain direction for yourself. It's not correct for you. So the health implications of that, living out of alignment with this center, is having liver or blood issues, can also manifest as like chronic fatigue or lack of clear direction in your life, or constantly trying to seek love or direction or identity and like label yourself. The next center is the heart center. This represents willpower and ego and also commitments. The heart center also establishes the foundation of community and entrepreneurship and things that really benefit the collective and giving back. So the open or undefined heart is really not here to make promises, because they're really meant to live in the moment and live more in flow with the ways they honor and uphold commitments. So as an open or undefined heart, you're really not here to have a lot of commitments. And the not self's theme of that center is, am I trying to prove myself? Like, knowing that you have nothing to prove to anyone as an open or undefined heart can be a really helpful mantra for you to really live in alignment with who you are. A defined heart, when you make a commitment, you are in it. It's really hard for you to back out of things once you've made that commitment, and defined hearts are really here to get paid for what they do as well, versus open or undefined hearts really have a more natural ability to give things out for free and not charge for what they're doing or for the ways that they're sharing their gifts. The defined heart also really likes to have passive income, depending on the rest of your chart. If this center is out of alignment, it can manifest as digestive issues, heart problems, or a lack of desire or drive in your life, and it can also show up as depression. So the next center is the spleen, which rules immunity. It also governs intuition and fear. This is the source of spontaneity and laughter. It is also an awareness center that lends to the awareness of survival. So it's very loud in the moment, and it speaks to what is going to help you survive. It knows very intelligently what will create the procreation, I'll say, of our species. And so it very much speaks in the now, in the moment. If you have an open or undefined spleen, the not self theme is not letting go of what's not good for you. Like asking yourself, like, am I refusing to let go of what's not good for me for fear of loss? And to remember that with every loss comes a gain. And if something's not good for you, it's going to letting go of it is going to lead you to something even better. For the defined spleen, you have a very strong intuition that speaks in the now moment. So listening to those intuitive hits when you get them in the now, because they will not come again, and writing them down or voice recording them to come back to them later. If this center is out of alignment or out of balance, it will manifest as autoimmune disorders, a weak immune system, or certain food allergies. The next center is the Sacral Center. This is where drive, passion, creative life force energy, and sexuality lives. If you have the center defined, you're a generator or a manifesting generator. If you have the center open or undefined, you're a reflector, projector, or manifester. and you don't have a consistent life force energy. So it's very important for you to rest more than generators and mani-gens do. The not self theme of having the center open or undefined is not knowing when enough is enough and when it's time for you to stop doing and to take a rest. This can lead to burnout. This can lead to adrenal fatigue as well. If you have the center defined, you have a consistent energy flow that allows you to continue to do things as long as you're passionate about them and they're lighting you up. If this center is out of alignment for you, this will manifest as reproductive system issues or possibly depression or adrenal fatigue, like I mentioned. The solar plexus center rules emotions, and it is also the awareness of spirit. That's, you know, as simple as that one gets. If you have the center open or undefined, the not self theme of that is if you're avoiding confrontation or truth. So asking yourself, am I avoiding confrontation or truth? And knowing that that's your not self, having the awareness that that's not you, so you can take the action that needs to be taken and know that any emotions that come up from you taking that action or speaking your truth aren't actually yours, and you're just feeling them, to be aware of them, to observe them, and to allow them to flow through you. Emotions are just energy in motion, so letting them flow through you and moving on. If you have the center defined, it is your authority. That means you're an emotional authority, so you're really meant to wait for clarity before you make a decision. If you're out of alignment with this center, then this will manifest as issues with the lungs, with the kidneys, with the nervous system, resulting in water retention or weight gain or respiratory or bladder problems or infections. Okay, the last but not least center is the root. This center is a pressure to do. It is a drive and a fuel to evolve and adapt and get through challenges in life. It really is rooted in survival and knows what needs to be done in order to survive and adapt. So this center, if you have it open or undefined, you're really meant to do a lot of rest, and the knots do a lot of rest. Not pressure yourself to do a lot of things, and definitely not pressuring yourself to be free of that pressure of things that you have to do. So the not self theme of that is asking yourself, am I trying to be free of pressure? And knowing that you do need a lot more rest than most people, and the best thing you can do before you have somewhere to be or you have an appointment is to do absolutely nothing and allow yourself just to lay down and do nothing and really clear out that center and recharge your energy. The defined root has a very consistent way of dealing with energy and their ability to do things, kind of similar to the sacral. So if you're a projector that has a defined root, then you feel like you have all this energy to do and do and do, when you actually don't, because you don't have that defined sacral. So really important for the defined root to check in when you're feeling like you need to take a break and take a rest, and kind of knowing when enough is enough, that the not self theme of the undefined sacral. And knowing that yes, you do have the ability to push through, but you don't always need to pressure yourself to do that. This will result in problems with adrenal fatigue and depression, as well as burnout, if you are forcing yourself to consistently do and show up, and pressuring yourself to consistently do and show up even when if you don't have the energy for it. So those are the 9 centers and the health issues that can result from you living out of alignment with what your centers really truly are, and being more in that not self theme of your conditioning versus your true self, and really living in alignment with who you are, how you're designed, which is what human design is all about. So if this busy, I just try to combine words. I'm a mani-gen. Sometimes I talk too fast. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. I would love to also know if you have any questions and what centers you have open or undefined, what your type is. Just let me know about you. I want to know. Okay, I want to know. I'm a Scorpio stellium. I want to know about you. And yeah, until the next video, sending you so much love.